Never meet your heroes. It's one of my least favorite cliches, and I found it to never be true. If you have the chance, you should take it. And today, I get to meet one of mine, a rare BMW Roadster with a body of aluminum and the heart of an M car. This is the BMW Z8. I've come all the way here to New Orleans to spend time with carbine motor cars with this specific Z8 because it's something very special. It's one of 319 topaz blue examples built for the entire world. And with some miles on the odometer and some mild upgrades, it's the one you actually want to drive. And after you finish watching this video, click the link in the description below to the live auction of this one. BMW struggles with halo cars. Their history with them is fraught with pain, failure, and PTSD. But in my view, the Z8 is the only successful halo car the company has ever made. After World War II, BMW was in shambles. Impacted by the effects of war, they needed a car to put them back on the map, and they would pour all of their knowledge into one car, a cutting-edge two-seater V8-powered sports car dubbed the 507. Powered by a 3.2-liter V8, it was aimed squarely at the American market. And it was a failure. BMW lost money on every single one that they made. In the end, they would only produce 262 examples, and it nearly bankrupted the company. Production streamlining later on would save BMW ultimately, but the 507 nearly brought the company to its knees. Then in the 1970s, BMW would try again to build a halo car. Building off the success with the Batmobile and the new M division, BMW wanted to make a supercar, and they would partner with Lamborghini to do so. They would build the M1. However, after a lot of drama and BMW having to steal back equipment to produce the M1 from Lamborghini, ultimately that car too was a sales failure. Just 399 road-going examples were produced, and again, BMW struggled to build a halo car. Entering the new millennium though, BMW wanted to build something special. At the 1997 Tokyo Motor Show, they would introduce the Z07 concept. Penned by Heinrich Fisker, it harkened back to the 507, and crowds were aghast at its beauty, a stark contrast to BMW reveals of today. Maybe this car would break the curse. Maybe this would be a successful halo car. But let's go check out one of my favorite parts of the Z8. A sight for sore eyes. Under the hood of the Z8 lies one of my all-time favorite engines, the glorious BMW S62 V8. Shared with the E39 M5, BMW actually developed this engine to be in both cars. It wasn't just an item they had lying around they decided to put in the Z8. It was made for both the M5 and this car, and it's a wonderful engine. They threw all of the technology they had at this car. Vanos infinitely variable valve timing, 8 individual throttle bodies, 2 oil pumps to reduce oil starvation and hard cornering. It's an amazing motor, and the result is that this engine produces 394 horsepower and 369 foot-pounds of torque. And this one is beautiful. It's incredibly clean under here, down to a very white expansion tank, which is a rare sight on these cars. And to my connoisseur eyes, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. But the innovation didn't end with what's under the hood. BMW would make strong use of aluminum in this car. From its chassis to its gorgeous body, aluminum is everywhere. They would also pepper this car with gorgeous touches taken directly from the 507. From its side grills to its lashings of chrome, they are everywhere. And it's so beautiful that this car ended up in a James Bond movie where it would famously get cut in half. Beyond that though, this car was known for its beauty. It was known for being a BMW. But the special details don't end on the outside. Getting into the Z8, this is a really unique cockpit. Again, taking inspiration from the 507, the gauges were moved to the middle, and BMW would include this beautiful steering wheel. No buttons on it, just aluminum strakes, and that was it. This car being a standard Z8, it also has a 6-speed manual transmission. Alpina would do a special version of this car. They would limit to 555 units that would use a different 4.8-liter V8 and an automatic. But in this one, you have the S62 and a glorious 6-speed manual transmission. Even so, though, this car would have perfect 50-50 weight distribution. And although BMW didn't tout this car as a knife-edge racer, there are no pictures of it on a racetrack during their promotions, this car was built to be the ultimate driving machine. It just happened to be the ultimate driving machine on great cruising roads. And now it's time to hit the engine start button and meet one of my heroes. things that strike me the most are the similarities to the E39 M5. And that's very obvious with the powertrain, but it's just fantastic. The way this car builds and delivers power, the S62 is one of BMW's greatest engines. It's one of my favorite V8s. You just have such great throttle response, fantastic torque, and it's actually very rev happy despite being a 5-liter NA V8. This car is about so much more than just its engine. It also, the thing that strikes me as an E39 M5 owner is the transmission. Because this car only has about 28,000 miles on it, it is so nice to use compared to mine, which has a lot more miles on it, it's just more worn in. It's so crisp. But otherwise, it feels very similar, very much like the E39 M5. And I really, really enjoy it. But the big difference between those two cars is really twofold. One is the very obvious thing that this is a convertible. You have all this air above you, and it just adds to the experience in a really enjoyable way. The other thing is that this car weighs quite a bit less than the E39 M5, about 500 pounds less. As a result, it really moves when you get on the throttle. Compared to the E39, it just simply accelerates faster. It really gets up there. That said though, chassis-wise, because there's no roof, it's definitely not the stiffest of cars, and I can see why people were confused in its era about, is this a sports car? Like, what is this thing? Really, I think it's built to be a high-speed cruiser. I think that's where it's at its happiest, and that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, to have the S62 in a convertible, pretty great. It's starting to rain here in Louisiana, as it seems to do about every 3 seconds. But even so, just cruising down, the wind's going over me, I'm not really getting wet. This is just a wild experience. But the thing about this car is, like, it's the combination of everything I love. Great drivetrain, comfortable cruiser, very special and rare, cool to look at. It just does everything I'm looking for. And to be honest with you, this one having some miles on it, despite being a very special color, you can use and enjoy it, and to me, that makes it a really compelling car. In short, yet again, I've met one of my heroes. It has not disappointed me. It's been phenomenal. I'm going to own one of these cars, mark my words. I absolutely will own one of these cars someday. Man, what a special car, and I can't believe someone new is going to take this thing home. In the end, BMW would build 5,703 examples of the Z8, making it their most popular halo car in the company's history. But they would never follow it up with anything. This car stands alone in its time as a pinnacle of BMW's finest. It is such a special car, and I absolutely love it. And if you love it as much as I do, well, you can buy this one on Cars and Bids. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you very soon. Goodbye.